All right, that means when it go into Monday morning, then that is you will be considered late lah after you submitted um, after 12 midnight on Sunday. All right. So this assignment is going to take up 50% of your total coursework mark. All right, and then as far as assignment is concerned, this is going to be a group assignment. Okay, only 2 students can be in one group. All right, and then each group is to complete all given tasks and submit a soft copy of your report, 8 to 10 pages only. Don't write too long, and then don't make very big figure. All right, but again, your figure need to be big enough for me to read lah. Okay, some actually make very, very small figure that I can't read at all. So must be big enough, and then you need to organize your diagram. All right, organize your diagram in such a way that it can fit into the 8 to 10 pages report. And then the size is 11. All right, use font Times New Roman, size 11, single spacing, and this 8 to 10 pages does not include Appendix 1 and 2, yeah. So Appendix 1 and 2 is given at the end of this assignment brief. So you need to submit by Google Classroom again. So Google Classroom is to monitor whether you submit early or you submit late, yeah. Even though this is a group assignment, the assessment is actually individual. All right, the assignment is individual and is based on the criteria that I have written in Appendix 1. So I summarize them here. All right, I assess each and every one of you on your ability to design, construct, and simulate a communication system model using Simulink. All right, and you need to explain the model as well. Yeah, and then the second criteria is your ability to evaluate performance of your design, all right, by means of result analysis and discussion. Yeah, and then relating to theory and concept learned in lecture and any other trusted sources. Okay, so if you make use of any source of information other than your course material, then you need to cite where you actually get that information from, right? And take note of this. All right, if I actually find any 2 reports that are similar, all right, then I will give the student involved 0 marks. All right, if they are the same, then I don't care who copy from who, you get 0 marks straight away. All right, and any student with suspicious report or answer, I will call you for viva, yeah, to prove the originality of your work submitted. So that means if I find your report is suspicious in the sense that it's quite similar to one's and some of the student, and yet your discussion is a bit ambiguous, then I will call you. All right, I will call you to attend a Google Meet, and then you need to actually present your answer, explain your answer to me. All right. So in the past, I seldom do this. All right, because students say I balik kampung already, you know. But now everybody is at home, you can easily go online. So I may call you this time. Yeah, if during the marking I find it very suspicious or anything that I don't understand, you know, because based on by looking at your parameter setting, I would know that you will not be able to get that kind of graph. Yeah, then I may call you to explain to me how you get that graph. All right. So the objective of this assignment, all right, is to investigate suitable techniques to be used in digital communication system using the computer-aided tool. All right. So as far as the task is concerned, this is a description, right? So you will be able to do this before you have done your lab session number 3. All right, so this is just to show you the question in advance. so that you know where you should focus on when you do your lab 3. All right, and if you're actually able to do lab 3, then yes, you shouldn't have too much of a problem completing this assignment. All right, if you don't do lab 3, there is no way you can do this assignment. Yeah. So as far as your task is concerned, okay, this is a description. We have two types of transmitting devices and one receiving device in a wireless communication system. One type of device is portable. Portable meaning you can bring it anywhere with you. All right, and transmit is 8-bit data at the rate of 10,000 data per second. Okay, another type of device is powered from main. All right, and transmit is 16-bit data at the rate of 20,000 data per second. So you are asked to design a communication system that enable any authorized IEEE 802.11 compliant device to receive data from these two types of transmitting device within the vicinity of 50 meters. All right. And then in order to allow more devices to be connected to the receiver, the maximum bandwidth allocated for each device is 80 kilohertz. All right, if you can do less, it will be better, but maximum is 80 kilohertz. All right, probability of bit error rate must not exceed 10 to the power of -6. All right, if you can achieve better result is better, of course. Then construct. Okay, to validate that your design works, you need to construct a simulating model based on your design. All right, evaluate the performance of your design in the aspect of energy efficiency with the limitation on bandwidth. Yeah, so each member should evaluate at least 2 designs for each type of transmitting device and select the better one. Yeah, with the probability of error and bandwidth limitation in mind. All right, so I actually suggest, because there are 2 of you in a team, so I suggest one of you work on this type of device, another one of you work on this type of device. All right, the second type of device. Then you need to, based on your graph, you need to specify the minimum EV over N naught that satisfy the bandwidth and burr requirement in your final design that you selected. Yeah. And also you need to identify the SIR, which is the symbol error rate, and DER, which is the data error rate, okay, at this EB over N naught value. So you must justify your selection with burr plots, SIR plots, and DER plots, as well as the frequency spectrum. All right. So this is the task given. And the next one, the next 2 pages are on the appendix. Appendix 1 actually specifies the assessment criteria. All right. So you'll be marked according to these 6 criteria. All right, of which the major one is on the analysis and discussion. All right. In the past, students just tend to submit the model diagram, submit the graph, and without much writing. So if you look at it, the big proportion of your mark actually go into your analysis and discussion. So you need to spend quite a considerable amount of time in actually analyze your result and writing your discussion. Yeah. So the first one is on the design, which is a model diagram. So in the model diagram, I actually look at the blocks that you use, yeah, as well as the parameter that you set. So I actually look for parameter setting as well. Yeah. So for parameter setting, so make sure you present your parameter setting in your report. Yeah. And then simulation performance. So I look at your simulation result. Yeah, does it actually satisfy the system specification and requirement, which I've mentioned in the task? Right, then I actually look at your results. Yeah. So as far as conclusion, the last one here is you are able to conclude All right, with some explanation why you choose your final design, as why you choose that system as your final design. So you need to actually conclude as well. So for report presentation, it's only 5%. Basically, this one, I have to put this one in because the last time students just simply, dump everything in without organizing. So make sure you actually organize your report properly. All right. And then if you actually refer to any external resources, make sure you cite the source. All right. And your figure must be properly labeled as well. Yeah. And this is quite a common mistake. Students don't label their figure properly. All right. When they are doing, then show me the result for the model diagram. Let's say for PSK, they label it as ASK. So if you do this, definitely marks will be deducted. And then for the appendix 2, this is the front cover that I want you to attach as well. So the appendix 1 and 2, you need to attach as your first 2 pages of your report. So in this front cover, the important thing is for you to type in your course code and title, academic year, and also you need to declare that is your original work. Yeah, put down your name, your student ID, which group you are in, your contribution. Okay, contribution is very important because I will mark according to your contribution. All right. So don't say 50%, 50%. No, I don't want that kind of quick contribution. You have to write, your contribution. Let's say student A, your contribution is in chapter 135. Student B, chapter 246, and so on. All right. So you need to specify clearly your contribution, or you may want to say your contribution is on the 8-bit data machine, the machine that actually transmit 8-bit data, or this one is a machine that transmits 16-bit data. All right, so then I'll able to mark accordingly. Then signature, you need to sign. All right, to sign that, to declare that this is your original work and you are the one that actually did this. Yeah, and the final mark I will fill in here. Okay, any question on your assignment? Who is that? What do you mean? So late. So there are total 4 design in one report. Yes. 2 students submit, prepare 1 copy of assignment. 2 students submit. You need to combine. You need to combine. Okay, so two students combine their report. There's only 1 report in a group of 2 students. So you find your team member yourself. All right. So because everything now online, yeah, your student can come from the same group or can come from different group. Do we need to write 2 discussion and conclusion for each device? Yes, yes, you have to. So you need to discuss based on your 2 discussion. Okay, for each device, I say you need to have a minimum of 2 design, isn't it? So therefore, you need to have a discussion on your 2 designs. All right, you can combine your discussion of the 2 design in each device. All right, but then after that, there can only be 1 conclusion out of the 2 designs that you have evaluated for each device. Which one is a better choice? All right, which one would you choose as your final design? Okay, any other question? So you can see, even though it's a group work, Okay, it's a group work to actually design two machines for a communication system. So I've designed your assignment in such a way that you can do your work separately. Yeah. Oh yeah, you need to write your discussion separately. So the format that you need to show in your, yeah, two are also transmitting device. Okay, let me, all right, so let's say, okay, let's say you have, let's say you have device number one. All right, device number one, you have two design, which is design one and also design two. All right, so design one, under design one, you have to show your model diagram. All right, then you need to show your simulation result. All right, simulation result, and you need to discuss. Okay, discuss all your results. Yeah, you may want to explain your model diagram as well in your discussion. You need to explain your parameter setting as well. Yeah, so for you need to discuss each and every one of them, or the more important one are in your parameter setting, because some are actually just default. All right, then here, same thing for design number two, you need to show me your model diagram. All right, your simulation result. All right, and then you need to discuss, meaning you need to explain your design number two. All right, in terms of your parameter setting, and then you need to explain also your simulation results. All right, and after that, you need to compare. Compare design one and design two. All right, and this is where you conclude. All right, why you choose design one and not design two. Let's say you choose design one. All right, then you need to compare them, and then you need to conclude. All right, compare design one in terms of the performance, right? You may want, and then what will compare? Basically, the criteria to compare would be the bandwidth, efficiency, all right, the energy efficiency, as well as the probability of error. Okay, based on the probability of error that I have specified, yeah, and based on the bandwidth limitation that I have given in the assignment, the brief there, and then you need to talk about your energy requirement, which is your EB over N naught. All right, so you need to compare them. Again, this will be a brief discussion, maybe one paragraph. Then you need to conclude which one you're going to choose as your final design for device number one. All right, same thing for device number two. All right, so in this case, your work is pretty independent, even though there are two of you in one group. All right, so your work is pretty independent. So therefore, I will mark again, that actually account for why I actually mark you separately. Okay, is that clear? Ooh, so late one. Need to design two devices. You need to present two design for each device. Okay, there are only two devices that you need to present as your final design. So finally, there are only two design. One design for device number one design for device number two. All right. So conclude here means you need to select. Okay, you need to select your final design for device 1. Yeah, and same thing for device number 2. It's the same. You need to present at least 2 designs. So means 4 sets of design, 8 sets of discussion, or write own discussion on own 2 design. You have 4 sets of design. The entire report will have 4 sets of design. All right. And why would you have 8 sets of discussion? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you will have for each device here, you will actually have each design will have actually have 1 discussion only. If you talk about your final discussion here, then maybe another one. All right, everybody write their own discussion on your own 2 design. Yes. Yeah, correct. Yeah, right. Each student will only be assessed through the design that the device that you work on. All right. And the mark won't be affected by the other member who did the design for design B. Yes, correct. So that's why in your contribution area, you need to specify, you actually work on design device A, you actually work on device B. So as far as I can see, I think there is a clear-cut way of assigning your tasks, dividing your task between the 2 members in the team. All right, but that doesn't mean that you cannot help each other. You can actually help each other also by actually discuss your results and finding. Yeah, and you may help each other in terms of your parameter setting. They will be different. Definitely the parameter setting for the 2 design will be different. All right. So I actually put you in a group of 2 so that you can discuss with each other. All right. But you cannot copy from each other because you need different design. Okay, because the design will be different, so you won't be able to copy from each other in each team. You refer to your for this one you have to refer to the IEEE standards. All right, you need to suggest actually which standard is actually most suitable one for you. All right, and then for 50-meter vicinity, then you may have to check you have to make sure the power of your transmitted device can meet that requirement. Okay, any other question?
Miss.
Yeah.
After if I have the design device 1 design and the device 2 design, right? So do I need to do another final conclusion to choose which one is device 1 or device 2 to make a conclusion, or just leave it like this?
No, if you work on, let's say, device, okay, let's say if you work on device, okay, like A and B better, right? Yeah. This is device A, and this is device A. Device A, you have done this. All right. So this is your device A. And then let's say this, you have your device B. Oops. Okay. If I can't, I'm going to do it like that. do that. Okay, so as far as you're concerned, if you have done your part, which is select the final design. All right, after you have selected your final design, which is this one here, then you have done your part already. Because in this system, there are two different devices. So you have to choose one final design for each device. That's all. Oh yeah, correct. No need to choose between device. Because that communication system, the receiver should be able to, as long as the design for your devices fulfill or satisfy the requirement for IEEE 802.11 standards, then it should be okay. Yeah, no need to choose between device. No, because your as far as the system is concerned, you have two different devices. How are you going to choose between device? Okay. Any other question? No more question? Okay. If no more question, I think now you just have a overall understanding on the requirement is enough, yeah. And then later on, when you start doing it, when you have more question, then only you ask. All right. Yeah, correct. These are the differences between the two devices. One is portable, one is powered from main, and also the bit rate is different, the data rate is different, and also the number of bits for each data is different as well. Yeah, that will actually show you the bit rate is different. How do you know the device is portable? Huh? Okay. All right. When a device is portable, what does that mean? If you have a portable device, what does that mean? Yeah, correct. Correct. It uses battery, so you need to a bit careful on the power consumption. Yes. So therefore, the power required for transmission should be as low as possible. All right. So you should maintain a certain degree of energy efficiency while meeting the bandwidth limitation. Okay, and also the probability of error as well. All right, so in your discussion, then you need to be aware if you are working on the portable device, then you need to be more aware on your power consumption. But if your system is you are actually designing the second device, which is the powered from main, then the energy efficiency may not be a primary consideration. All right. So for the one that is portable, you need to actually prioritize your decision on energy efficiency. Yeah, that's why I actually make two design. Ask you to do two devices. All right, so that you can see the difference. All right, so and then as far as your report is concerned, you may want to add one final conclusion, right, on why is design one using this, design two using that. Yeah, just to strengthen your choice. Yeah, your reasons for your choice. Okay. Any other question? No? Okay. So the reason that I actually show you your question, actually this is the time to show you the question as well, and the task. All right, so that you actually make sure in your lab 3 you are able to plot the bit error rate curve. All right, the BER curve, SER curve, and so on. All right, if you're not able to plot all this during your practical session, you will have a hard time in your assignment later on. All right, and you also need to be able to plot your frequency spectrum. Okay, what else? Any more questions? If no, then I'll move on to tutorial discussion. No? Okay. So I'm going to start on tutorial.